you have already failed today. Maybe it was the snooze button at 5 a.m. Maybe it was the cigarette you swore last night would be your last. Maybe it was opening Instagram when you promised yourself you'd focus. It doesn't matter which habit. What matters is that right now, you're trapped in a cycle you can't explain. Here's what nobody tells you about bad habits. They're not a willpower problem. They're not a discipline problem. They're an architecture problem. And every method you've tried, the 21-day challenges, the motivational videos, the cold showers, and accountability partners, they're all designed with the same fatal flaw. They demand you become someone different tomorrow. But your brain has spent years building you into exactly who you are right now. And when you try to change overnight, your nervous system interprets it as a threat. Your amygdala activates. Resistance floods your body like an immune response rejecting a foreign organ. So, you fail, and you think, I just don't have what it takes. What if I told you that's exactly what you're supposed to think? There's a Japanese method, developed in the ruins of post-war Japan, perfected by Toyota, and now validated by neuroscience, that breaks this cycle completely. It's called Kaizen, and it works through a principle that will sound insultingly small, ridiculously small, so small you'll think I'm wasting your time, until it rewires your entire identity without your brain ever noticing it's under attack. I'm going to show you how to break any habit, addiction, procrastination, anxiety patterns, anything, using changes so microscopic they bypass every defense mechanism that's made you fail before. But I need you to do something first. Comment below. What's the one habit that's been defeating you? Not the 5 you want to change. The one that's costing you the life you know you're capable of. I read every single comment. And in 30 days, I'm coming back to check on you. Because this isn't a motivation video. This is a system. And by the end, you won't be trying to change anymore. You will already be different. Let me tell you why you have failed every time you've tried to change. And I need you to understand something first. It's not because you're weak. It's not because you lack discipline. It's because you've been using a system that was never designed to work in the first place. You've heard it takes 21 days to form a habit, right? That number is everywhere, plastered across self-help books, repeated by motivational coaches, turned into challenge apps. Here's the problem. It's a complete lie. The actual research conducted by University College London psychologist Philippa Lally shows that habit formation takes an average of 66 days, and that's just the average. Some habits take 18 days, others take 254 days. The 21-day myth came from a plastic surgeon in the 1960s who noticed his patients took about 3 weeks to get used to their new faces. Somehow, that observation about facial adjustment became gospel about behavioral change, and millions of people have been setting themselves up for failure ever since. But here's where it gets worse. Let's say you actually understand that habits take longer than 21 days. You're still fighting an uphill battle because of something called ego depletion. Psychologist Roy Baumeister discovered that willpower functions like a muscle. It gets exhausted with use. Every decision you make, every temptation you resist, every impulse you override depletes the same finite reservoir of self-control. By the time you get home from work, after a day of resisting the urge to snap at your boss, holding back from checking your phone in meetings, and forcing yourself to eat the salad instead of the burger, your willpower tank is empty. That's why you collapse on the couch. That's why you scroll for 3 hours. That's why the cigarette or the drink or the binge feels impossible to resist. You've been white-knuckling your way through life, wondering why you always break at night. Now you know, you're trying to sprint a marathon on fumes. And then there's the part nobody talks about, the identity crisis. When you decide to quit smoking, your brain doesn't hear, I'm going to improve my health. Your brain hears, I'm going to stop being me. Because for years, maybe decades, you've been someone who smokes. It's woven into your self-concept, how you handle stress, how you take breaks, how you socialize. When you try to rip that out overnight, your nervous system interprets it as an existential threat. Your amygdala, the ancient part of your brain responsible for survival, activates the same way it would if you were being chased by a predator. Suddenly, you're flooded with anxiety, restlessness, irritability. You're not just fighting a craving, you're fighting your own sense of self, trying to preserve itself. This is why motivation is the worst possible foundation for change. Motivation is an emotion, and emotions are temporary weather systems. They blow in, they blow out. You feel inspired watching a video at midnight. And by Tuesday afternoon, when life gets hard, that inspiration has evaporated. You're left trying to force behavior change with nothing but raw discipline, which, as we just established, runs out by 3 p.m. Here's the statistical reality. 92% of New Year's resolutions fail by February. Gym memberships see an 80% drop-off rate within 5 months. Crash diets have a 95% failure rate within 2 years, with most people gaining back more weight than they lost. The problem isn't you. The problem is the architecture of change itself. Every method you've been taught demands that you become a different person tomorrow, using a limited resource that depletes daily, while fighting an identity crisis that your brain perceives as a survival threat. So, if willpower fails, motivation fades, and discipline cracks under pressure, what actually works? The solution comes from the rubble of 1945 Japan. The country was devastated, cities flattened, economies shattered, manufacturing capacity destroyed. Japanese industry was synonymous with cheap, disposable junk. No one believed they could compete with the West. But then something remarkable happened. Japanese engineers adopted a philosophy called Kaizen, Gai-shan, which literally translates to change for better. But the genius wasn't in the goal. It was in the scale of change. Improvements so microscopic, they felt meaningless. Toyota became the laboratory. Instead of overhauling entire production lines, they asked workers to find one small inefficiency per day. Move a tool 6 inches closer. Adjust a process by 30 seconds. Improvements so tiny that individually, they seemed laughable. But here's what happened. Within 2 decades, Toyota went from producing inferior cars to building the most reliable vehicles on Earth. Made in Japan transformed from an insult to a gold standard, and it happened through changes so small that resistance never activated. Here's the principle that will change how you see everything. If you improve by just 1% every day for a year, you don't end up 365% better. You end up 3,778% better. That's not linear growth, it's exponential mathematics. 1% compounds. It multiplies on itself. Most people fail because they're trying to jump from 0 to 100. Kaizen says, go from 0 to 1, then from 1 to 1.01, then to 1.02. The gap is so small your brain doesn't perceive it as change. But after a year, you're unrecognizable. Think of it like this. A plane takes off from Los Angeles heading to New York. If the pilot adjusts the course by just 1 degree south at takeoff, the plane doesn't land in New York. It lands in Washington, D.C., 225 miles away. 1 degree, tiny adjustment, massive destination shift. That's Kaizen. Your brain has a change detection threshold, a sensitivity filter that activates resistance when it perceives threat. Try to quit smoking cold turkey and alarms scream. Try to reduce by 1 cigarette per week and your brain barely notices. You're reprogramming yourself below the radar of sabotage. Here's the contrast that explains everything. Western culture worships transformation. We want the before and after photo, the dramatic reveal, the total reinvention. Japanese culture worships refinement, the patient, invisible accumulation of marginal gains. One burns out spectacularly. The other compounds silently into mastery. This is not about becoming a different person. It's about becoming yourself, refined, 1% at a time. until the person you've always wanted to be isn't a fantasy anymore. It's just who you are. Now let me show you exactly how to apply this. Kaizen is not just a philosophy, it's a system. And that system rests on 4 interconnected pillars. Master these, and you can break any habit, build any behavior, reshape any part of your life. Here's how it works. Pillar 1, microscopic actions, the 2-minute rule. If your habit can't be completed in under 2 minutes, it's too big to start with. Period. You want to read more? Don't commit to reading for an hour. Read 1 page. You want to start exercising? Don't plan a 45-minute workout. Do 1 push-up. You want to meditate? Don't download a 30-day program. Take 3 conscious breaths. That's it. I know what you're thinking. 1 push-up won't get me in shape. 1 page won't make me well-read. You're right. But you're missing the point. The goal isn't the push-up. The goal is proving to yourself that you're the type of person who shows up. Every single day, no matter what, you show up. That's the identity shift. That's what your brain is learning. Not, I worked out today, but I am someone who works out. There's a universe of difference between those 2 sentences. The 2-minute rule does something else crucial. It removes the negotiation. When the barrier to entry is microscopic, your brain has no excuse. You can't say, I don't have time for 1 push-up. You can't say, I'm too tired to read 1 page. The action is so small that resistance has nothing to grab onto. You just do it. And once you do it, once you're already on the floor or the book is already open, momentum takes over. But even if it doesn't, even if you only do that 1 push-up, you've still won, because you kept the promise. Pillar 2, remove all friction, environmental design. Here's a truth that will save you years of failure. Your environment is stronger than your willpower, always. You are not fighting your habits in a vacuum. You're fighting them inside a physical space that either supports change or sabotages it. Want to drink more water? Don't rely on remembering to fill a glass 8 times a day. Fill 3 bottles the night before and place them where you'll see them. 1 on your nightstand, 1 at your desk, 1 in your car. Want to quit social media? Don't just log out. Delete the apps entirely. Make it require 15 steps to get back in instead of 1 tap. Want to stop eating junk food? Don't keep it in the house. Don't test your discipline at 9 p.m. when you're exhausted. Remove the option. The formula is simple. Make the good habit easier to do than not do. Make the bad habit harder to do than not do. If you want to go to the gym in the morning, sleep in your workout clothes. If you want to stop doom scrolling before bed, charge your phone in another room. Your willpower has limits. Your environment doesn't. Design your space like you're programming a system, because that's exactly what you're doing. You're building an environment where the default behavior is the behavior you want. Pillar 3, celebrate micro wins, dopamine hacking. Your brain learns through rewards. If you complete a behavior and feel nothing, your brain files it away as irrelevant. If you complete a behavior and feel a hit of satisfaction, your brain marks it. Do this again. That's dopamine. That's the learning chemical. And most people never give their brain the reward signal, so the habit never sticks. Here's how you fix that. Celebrate immediately. After you drink that glass of water, don't just move on. Say out loud, with intention, I'm someone who takes care of myself. After that 1 push-up, pump your fist. Smile, feel the win. It sounds ridiculous. It feels childish. Do it anyway. Celebration isn't about the size of the accomplishment. It's about marking the identity shift. You're not celebrating the push-up. You're celebrating becoming the type of person who does push-ups. That distinction is everything. The external action is tiny. The internal transformation is massive, and your brain needs a signal to recognize that transformation happened. Give it 1. Pillar 4, stack and expand, the aggregation principle. Once a microscopic habit becomes automatic, and this usually takes 2 to 3 weeks, you add 1 more, not 5, not 10, 1. Think of it like building with Lego. One brick placed carefully is stable. You can build on it. 10 bricks thrown at once scatter across the floor. You're back to chaos. Stack slowly. Let each habit solidify into your routine until it feels effortless, until you do it without thinking. Then, and only then, you add the next brick. Here's what that looks like over time. Month 1, you drink a glass of water every morning. Month 2, you add 1 page of reading. Month 3, you add 1 push-up. By month 6, you have 10 automatic habits running in the background of your life. By month 12, you have 20. At that point, you're not someone trying to build good habits. You are someone who lives differently. That's not behavior change. That's identity change. The aggregation principle says this: small actions, repeated consistently, don't add up. They multiply. They compound into a version of yourself you wouldn't recognize a year ago. And the beauty is, you never had to become disciplined. You just had to show up for 2 minutes a day. These 4 pillars: microscopic actions, environmental design, micro-win celebration, and strategic stacking, they work together as a system. You don't need all 4 on day 1. You just need to start with 1. Pick the pillar that feels easiest. Build from there. Because Kaizen doesn't ask you to be perfect. It asks you to be consistent. And consistency over time is unstoppable. Let me tell you about Maya. 36 years old, graphic designer, single mother of a 7-year-old daughter named Lily. On the outside, she had it together. Good job, nice apartment, friends who envied her independence. On the inside, she was drowning in her phone. The rock bottom moment came on a Tuesday evening. Lily had spent 2 hours building an elaborate castle out of cardboard boxes, painting it with watercolors, decorating it with stickers. She called Maya over, eyes shining with pride. "Mom, look, I made this for you." Maya glanced up from her phone, some infinite scroll of people she didn't know, living lives she didn't care about, and said, "That's great, honey." Before her eyes dropped back to the screen, Lily's face fell. She didn't say anything. She just walked back to her room. And in that silence, Maya felt something crack inside her chest. She looked down at her phone. 3 hours and 42 minutes of screen time that day. She'd been home for 2 of those hours. She'd chosen strangers over her daughter's castle. That night, after Lily was asleep, Maya made a commitment so small it felt meaningless. At 8 p.m. every night, she would put her phone in the kitchen drawer for 10 minutes. Just 10. That was it. Day 1 was easy. Day 4, her fingers itched. The FOMO roared. What if someone texted? What if she missed something important? What if? She white-knuckled her way through those 10 minutes, pacing her living room like a caged animal. Day 7, she sat on the couch and stared at the wall, feeling the discomfort like a physical presence. But then, day 17, something shifted. Lily asked her to read a bedtime story during those 10 minutes. And halfway through the second page, Maya realized she hadn't thought about her phone once. She was here, present. She could feel her daughter's weight against her side, smell the lavender shampoo in her hair, hear the way her voice softened when she got sleepy. Week 6, 10 minutes became 30. Week 12, she added a phone-free breakfast routine. Week 20, she started keeping a journal during that time, writing down things Lily had said that day, small moments she would have missed if she'd been scrolling. 6 months later, Maya isn't someone trying to use her phone less. She's someone who prioritizes presence. The habit became her identity. She's not fighting the urge anymore. The urge isn't even there. Her screen time dropped from 6 hours a day to 45 minutes. But the real change? Lily stopped asking if mom was paying attention. Because now, she always was. Last week, Maya went to a parent-teacher conference. Lily's teacher smiled and said, I asked the kids to draw what makes them feel loved. Lily drew you reading to her. She told me, "My mom doesn't miss things anymore." Maya cried in her car for 20 minutes after that. Not because she was sad, because she'd gotten her life back, 10 minutes at a time. Now, let me show you why this actually works at the neurological level. This isn't philosophy, it's biology. Every habit runs on a 3-part loop: cue, routine, reward. Your brain detects a trigger, executes a behavior, receives a payoff. Repeat that loop enough times, and something remarkable happens. The behavior transfers from your prefrontal cortex, which requires conscious effort and decision-making, to your basal ganglia, your brain's autopilot system. When a habit lives in the basal ganglia, it becomes effortless. You don't think about brushing your teeth, you just do it. That's automation. Philip Alali's research at University College London found that habits take an average of 66 days to become automatic. But here's the key. Microscopic habits automate faster because they require less cognitive load. Your brain accepts them as non-threatening. You're literally rewiring your neural architecture through repetition. That's neuroplasticity. Your brain physically restructures based on what you do repeatedly. B.J. Fogg's research at Stanford shows that habits stick when tied to identity, not outcomes. You don't go running, you become a runner. That identity shift is what makes behavior permanent. James Clear calls this the compound effect. Small changes don't add up, they multiply. 1% improvement daily becomes 37 times better in a year through exponential growth. So, if the science is clear, why do most people still fail? Because they skip the most critical part. But here's what I need you to understand. Kaizen isn't a magic bullet. People fail with this method too, and they fail for 5 specific reasons. Let me warn you before you stumble. Mistake 1. Starting too big. You commit to 1 push-up, then think, might as well do 10. Day 3, 10 feels like too much. You skip. The streak breaks. Solution? Protect the microscopic. 1 push-up every day for 21 days. No exceptions, no expansions. Mistake 2. No identity anchor. You're doing the action without claiming the identity. That's motion without meaning. Solution. After each micro habit, say it out loud. I'm someone who takes care of myself. Mistake 3. Skipping the why. If your reason is shallow, I want to look good, it won't survive stress. Solution. Write this down before you start. If I don't change this, what will I lose that I can't get back? Mistake 4. The perfection trap. You miss 1 day and think the streak is broken, so you quit. Solution. Never miss twice. 1 miss is a blip. 2 misses is a pattern. Mistake 5. Isolation. Trying to change alone in secret. Solution, tell 1 person. Check in weekly. Public commitment increases success by 65%. Avoid these 5 traps and Kaizen becomes unstoppable. Now, let me give you the exact system. For the next 30 days, follow this protocol step by step. Make it so simple, there's no room for confusion. Day 113, the selection phase. Choose 1 habit. Write it down. Make it so small you'd be embarrassed to share it with anyone. Use this test. Can you do it in under 2 minutes, even on your worst day? If not, make it smaller. Examples. Health, drink 1 glass of water when you wake up. Productivity. Open your laptop and write 1 sentence. Relationships. Text 1 person something genuine. Mental health. Take 3 conscious breaths. Pick 1, only 1. Day 4 to 7. The friction audit. Identify every obstacle between you and that habit, then eliminate them ruthlessly. Want to exercise in the morning? Put your gym clothes on your pillow the night before. Want to read? Place the book on your coffee table, open to the current page. Want to drink water? Fill the glass before bed and put it on your nightstand. Remove every decision point, remove every excuse. Week 2, the consistency lock. Your only job this week, do the habit every single day. Track it visually. Put an X on a calendar, use a habit tracker app, whatever works. No expansion, no optimization, just repetition. You're teaching your brain that this behavior is non-negotiable. This is who you are now. Week 3, the identity shift. Start claiming the identity. After you complete the habit, say it out loud. I am someone who, identity. I am someone who takes care of my body. I am someone who shows up. I am someone who keeps promises to myself. Notice the resistance fading. Notice the automaticity building. You're not trying anymore. You're just doing. Week 4, the strategic expansion. If and only if the habit feels effortless, add 1% more or stack one additional micro habit, not both. 1. Example, 1 push-up becomes 2, or 1 push-up plus 10 seconds of stretching. But if it still feels like effort, don't expand. Solidify what you have. Day 30, the reflection journal. These questions: how has this changed me? What do I notice about myself that's different from 30 days ago? Then make a decision. Continue expanding this habit or solidify it for another 30 days before adding something new. You've got this. Start today. But Kaizen is not just about habits. It's a worldview, a way of seeing everything. What if you improved your marriage by 1% each day? 1 genuine compliment. 1 moment of full presence. In a year, you'd have a completely different relationship. Kaizen and creativity. Hemingway wrote 1 true sentence per day. Beethoven refined single measures for weeks. Mastery isn't made in breakthroughs, it's made in inches. Kaizen connects to wabi-sabi, the Japanese philosophy of imperfection. Kaizen embraces the flawed process. Wabi-sabi celebrates it. You don't need to be perfect, you need to be progressing. It connects to ikigai, your reason for being. Kaizen without purpose is just motion. Ikigai gives it direction. Your why is the compass. Kaizen is the steps. And it connects to Shoshin, beginner's mind. Approach each day's micro habit with fresh eyes. Avoid complacency. Even masters practice the basics. Western culture worships the sprint. Eastern culture honors the marathon. You're not racing to a finish line. You're walking a path that has no end. Think of it like Michelangelo carving David. He didn't create the statue in 1 strike. He removed 1 chip of marble at a time, for years. You're not building a new you. You're revealing the you that was always there. You're thinking, I will start on Monday. But here's the truth. Time does not wait for your readiness. The perfect moment is a myth. It doesn't exist. It never will. In 1 year, you'll wish you'd started today. The only difference between who you are and who you want to be is 365 tiny decisions. That's it. Not some dramatic transformation. Not a mountain of willpower. Just 365 microscopic choices that compound into a completely different life. So right now, comment below with 3 things. The 1 habit you're changing. 2, your 2-minute version of it. 3, why it matters to you. Don't skip this. Public commitment works. I'm going to pin the top commitment and check in with you in 30 days. You're not doing this alone. Here's what I need you to understand. You don't need to be ready. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to do 1 thing today. 1 glass of water, 1 push-up, 1 page, 1 breath. That's it. This isn't about discipline. It's not about willpower. It's about identity. You're not trying to break a bad habit. You're becoming someone for whom that habit doesn't fit anymore. There's a universe of difference between those 2 things. So, here's my challenge. For the next 24 hours, don't think about changing your life. Just do 1 microscopic action. Then come back and tell me you don't feel different. Remember, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. But Kaizen teaches us something deeper. A journey of 1,000 miles is just 1,000 single steps, and you only need to take 1 today. If this video shifted something in you, share it with one person who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more philosophy that actually changes lives. And most importantly, go be 1% better than yesterday. Your moment is now.